If you've got a business, then you probably realize that the holy grail is pretty much recurring products. I mean, everyone's doing it, right? I mean, if you probably got a Netflix account, you got a subscription on your mobile device, maybe you've got a subscription on your car, right? And as a business, that's a massive opportunity, because once you have someone on a subscription, right, they pay you every month or every year, right? And therefore your business becomes more predictable, and therefore you can grow and scale faster, right? Or is there more to the story? That's what I want to talk to you about in today's episode. My name is Wilco Kreij, and for a long time, I've always been selling one-time products. There's no subscription, there's no thing like, hey, you need to pay again. It's like you pay it once and you have access to it, right? Pretty simple, as if I would be buying these glasses. I paid them $10 and a product is actually mine, or this book, like, doesn't really matter, right? And in my case, I've been selling software products, right? So back in the day, I had various tools and things that I developed, and maybe you've seen them, like they're not like around anymore, but tools like ZoSocial, VideoScan, like they were tools that and this is like back a long time ago, 2013-ish, where I sold products and I told people like, hey, you only need to pay once, you just keep on using. But what I realized at that point is that if that's your only model, right, it's going to be hard to really scale, because if you sell a one-time product, like you're selling books or a course or a physical product, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, you can do it, but the problem is that every single month you start over at zero, basically, right? Because the only revenue you are going to get that particular month or that particular week or year is all the revenue from like people who are, again, need to buy your product. So what happens if then all of a sudden your traffic source dries up, or something in the market changes and no one's buying your product anymore? All of a sudden your revenue is like down to zero, right? And I've had this happen multiple times over. This is not some theoretical thing. At some point when I was realizing that, like, hey, one-time product is like, there's some limitations to it. So that's when I started diving into the recurring world. The people who offer something for sale at a recurring price. So instead of saying, hey, pay it once and you get it forever, you need to pay a monthly fee or a yearly fee and then you can keep on using it, right? Now, as I started doing that, I realized, like, first I thought it's just a different pricing model, but I realized everything is different, right? You cannot sell the same product, or like in most cases, you cannot sell the same product or service as a recurring product. Like, I imagine I would sell you this book and I was like, oh, well, you can have it for like $2 a month and then you can keep on using it. Like, you wouldn't do that. You just buy it once and that's it, right? So it's a different kind of product, but also a different way of selling, right? Because if you pay something as a one-time fee, for example, even if it's a course or something that's more expensive, like $300, right? People pay that, like, all right, cool, that's $300 and that's it. There's no further commitment. But if that same thing will be $30 a month, which seems like a lot cheaper, right? But the commitment is a lot higher, because now, like, every single month that's going to be taken out of my bank account, right? So it's harder to sell or at the first transaction, but also every single month you need to provide way more value than what they're paying, because even though they don't actively rebuy your product every single month, they still are. They see it on their bank balance and they're like, is it still worth it to me? Well, yeah, it is, because I'm getting more value than what I'm paid. Like, if you have a Netflix subscription, you know you're paying for it. Like, let's say all of a sudden you realize, hey, I haven't watched Netflix for like 3 months or 4 months. I'm probably going to think about canceling, because you're not getting value from it anymore, right? So far you're thinking like, all right, so Wilco, he started selling one-time products and now he's selling recurring products. So what's the point, right? We all know recurring is awesome, but the thing is, if you're only selling recurring products, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really, really hard. And yes, there's plenty of examples of businesses who've been doing really, really well selling recurring products, right? Netflix is a great example. However, if you want to grow fast, selling subscription business style, right? If you use subscription products, if you want to grow your business fast without having a bunch of money up front, right? Like Netflix, they got I'm actually probably tens or even hundreds of millions. I don't know how much money they had beforehand, but they raised a lot of capital, and therefore they are able to invest and say like, hey, I'm going to spend money now, right? And I don't care if I make profit down the line, right? Because they got that money. Like for people like you and me, like we don't have that luxury. We need to make money right away, right? Otherwise, our business is screwed. So the thing is, if let's say you only sell recurring products and you want to get that out into the world, you want to say like, hey, I want to get more people. And let's say you're selling a $30 a month product, right? And then you're like, all right, you know what methods do I have to get people into the world? Now, obviously, you got, if you don't know about it, you got UpViral, which is a great way to get word of mouth into your business, get people to talk about your business, and get people onto your email list. So if you haven't done that, UpViral, right? But there's other ways of building traffic as well. Let's say, for example, you want to rely on paid ads, Facebook ads, for example, right? Then it's really a numbers game, because let's say a customer is worth $30 a month for you, right? And you're spending ads on Facebook, you're spending money on Facebook ads, and let's say like you're spending $100 for that customer, right? That's not a bad deal, right? Because if they pay $30 a month, you pay $100 up front, so that means that after 3 months, you're pretty much, you're break even, and everything after that is profit, right? So if they stay for a year, let's say, right, so that's like 30 times 12 is $360. You spend $100, right? Let's say there's no actual cost of delivery of the good, right? So 360 minus 100 is $260 in profit, right? If I were to ask you like, hey, you spend money on Facebook ads, and every time you spend $100, you make $260 in profit, right? On top of that, you probably say yes. The problem is you need to spend all that money up front, because it takes 3 months for you to actually bring back that profit, right? Even worse, you don't know how long these customers are going to stay. Maybe you're like, wow, like I spent $100 and I trust that after 3 months I get all that money back, and maybe you got the money to spend. Maybe you got $10,000 or $100,000 extra, or even $1 million. Like you got all the money and you do that. But then what you realize later on, you spent all that money on Facebook ads up front, right? And then all of a sudden, apparently the demographic that you were targeting, they're not the perfect fit for your subscription. So what happens after 3 months or even 2 months, they start canceling. And now you wasted all that money on Facebook ads or whatever you spend money on. And then you get the problem of like, wow, people are canceling. So you never made an actual profit. And that's the problem with recurring. And that's why now I want to bring it together. We've been talking about one-time products, right? One-time products that people pay a one-time fee for, as well as recurring products. And how I use it in my business, I actually use both, right? I use both because if you want to attract a new customer, right, either from paid ads or any other way, you want to go for an easy sell. You want to maximize value. You want to make it a no-brainer deal. Like they see it like, wow, like it really should be a no-brainer deal. And how do you do that? First of all, by over-delivering in value, which means you're actually solving a massive problem for them. You're taking that problem away out of their hands in whatever market you're in. But also, there's very little commitment needed. In other words, a one-time product. That's way easier to sell, right? Conversions are going to be better. It's going to be easier to get it to convert with paid ads, right? So first, you only sell them a one-time product. That's it, right? And then once you have your foot in the door, establish a relationship, and then say like, hey, by the way, we've also got this additional product which will solve this other problem for you, which you will definitely need. Boom, and everything they get, like now they're at profit right from the start. Like a good example of someone who's been doing this successfully is, for example, Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels. Like a lot of these companies, they all raised capitals, he didn't. Why not? Because he didn't just outright sell people into his ClickFunnels subscription. No, he has all kinds of one-time offers. He calls them front-end offers, like his books, right? You buy his book. If you buy his book, then guess what? Later down the funnel, inside an email or a follow-up video or a retargeting ad, you're going to see ClickFunnels. They're all a one-time payment. There's no recurring on the front end because that's just really hard to convert. And that's where that comes in. So long story short, what I'm really sharing here with you, like if you are currently only selling one-time products, definitely add a recurring product. Like that is the best way to grow and scale your business, because that way you got every month you already know what amount of recurring revenue you are going to collect that month. And that makes it easier to grow your business, hire a good team, because it reduces risk. You already know, hey, this month I've got 20,000 or maybe 200,000 or whatever it is. you got that revenue coming into your business, even if all traffic disappears. So if you don't have a recurring product yet, try to go in that direction, add a recurring product. However, if you already have a recurring product, but you're not having a one-time product, then I would say like add that as well, because there's a massive amount of people, right, who you could serve, who you could help with a good product, but who might not be ready to commit to your recurring product just yet. So why not give them something smaller, something that you can afford to give away as a one-time price, even if you don't make any instant money on that, but you generate customers, you increase the relationship, and you allow yourself to profitably, or at least break even, advertise to that product, and then you get people into your recurring. Like that combination of one-time products and subscription style business is just awesome. So that's what I wanted to share with all of you. Hopefully you appreciate it. Let me know in the comments if you did, and if there's someone that you know who either only has recurring products or one-time products, because if they have that, either just one of the two, they need to watch this video or audio as well. So thanks you all, and I'll talk to you all soon.